GameCentral readers discuss which games and announcements they're most looking forwards to at E3, from Smash Bros. To Spider-Man. With the pre-E3 media briefing set to start in a matter of hours, there was only one obvious subject for this weekend's inbox. E3 should see dozens of new titles announced for 2018 and beyond. A lot of them have leaked out already, but we wanted to know which you're looking forward to and why. Lots of obvious candidates were suggested, but while many were already satisfied in what Sony, and to a degree Nintendo, are showing, there was concern that Microsoft has to have a good E3. With many hoping it does so they'll have an excuse to get an Xbox One. I love E3 week and I'm very interested in seeing what both Microsoft and Sony do. Although Sony barely even have to turn up in order to win E3, I'm curious to whether they'll hint that the PlayStation 4 is in its last days and if there'll be any more big-name games. If there aren't, then I think we are definitely looking at a PlayStation 5 announcement this time next year. In a similar vein, we should get a good idea from what Microsoft reveals. If there are a number of new games, then it'll be clear they're not giving up, and are in no hurry to release new hardware. If we still get virtually nothing, I don't know what to think other than they're basically sitting the generation out and waiting till they've got some new first-party studios set up. But if that is the case, I hope they at least announce them. The mistake Microsoft is making is the lack of communication. If they only explained themselves, then I think fans would give them more leeway. And where better to explain themselves than the biggest games event of the year, Gadfly? I think this year's E3 will be an interesting one in terms of new and already announced games. The main game I'm looking forward to finding out more information on is Super Smash Bros. And what new gameplay elements will be added. I'm hoping there's going to be a story mode that's a mix of Subspace Embassy and Smash Run, with character customization carried over from the Wii U, 3DS versions. An interesting online addition could be Amiibo mode, where you and one of your amiibos could take on your friend and one of their amiibos, but have the amiibo have a mix of your playstyle and your friends. The other game I'm looking forward to is Spider-Man. The previous games have been good but haven't had the same freedom and feel of Spider-Man 2. With Insomniac's track record though and the trailers, it looks promising. As for other games, there's far too many to mention: Sonic Team Racing, Spyro Reignited, Yoshi, Star Fox, Grand Prix, if it's true, and more. Tommy Gun 17, PSNID, I own a PlayStation 4 and a Nintendo Switch, but the conference I'm most looking forward to this year is Microsoft. Nintendo has announced that it's the 2018 games that they will focus on, and Sony have listed 4 big exclusives for an in-depth view. Whilst I'm sure I'll enjoy these conferences, and there'll no doubt be some great stuff shown, I don't think that there's much scope for any big surprises. Which, to be honest, is what I always associate with E3. As a result, I think it's only Microsoft who have opportunity to surprise us and bring something new to the party. They certainly need to, as they could really do with some additional momentum going into next gen. I can't believe they'll only have Forza Horizon 4 and the delayed Crackdown 3 to show. Rumors of studio acquisitions and increased investment in first-party means they surely must have more irons in the fire. I just hope they have enough that are ready to show. I don't own an Xbox, and this is Microsoft's last chance this gen to sell me one. As for who will win E3, it'll come down to the games. I'm looking forward to seeing what Bethesda, EA, and Ubisoft show at their conferences, but it's the first-party stuff I tune in for. If Microsoft don't produce the new games I'm hoping for, then I can't really see past Last of Us Part 2 and Death Stranding stealing the show. Enjoy the E3 trip, guys. Email your comments to gamecentral@ukmetro.co.uk. Despite all the reveals, I'm still pretty excited for E3 2018. Really looking forward to seeing good looks at Sony's quartet of announced attendees: Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, and The Last of Us Part 2. Hopefully they will maintain the high quality of recent Sony exclusives and I'll be out within a year. It's been heavily hinted there will be some PC-related Halo news. I'd take either Halo 6 or the Master Chief Collection, but both would be amazing. I'd like to see some of Guacamelee 2 along with a soonish release date. It would be nice if this rumored Starfield game by Bethesda showed up. Skyrim, Fallout in space sounds right up my alley. Being a VR fan, it'd also be nice to see some surprises in that area. Been a fan of Devolver Digital since they published Hotline Miami, and their press video thing last year was very entertaining, so I'll be looking out for them this year too. Cyberpunk 2077 is what I want to see most though. A cyberpunk role-playing game by the same team as The Witcher 3 is a truly salivating prospect. Just really looking forward to the show and your coverage of proceedings. Simundo Jones, well, speaking as a big Soul Calibur fan who was heartbroken by the last entry, I need to hear good things about this latest installment. Character reveals are nice and all, I suspect Boldo, Sungmina, and maybe even Wong to be next, but they're for lesser games. I want to hear about the game's structure. And I don't give a damn about online features. I want to hear about story, missions, and options to enhance the local multiplayer. You know, the kind of multiplayer fighting games are best at. I mean, when was the last time a fighting game even featured team versus battles? Never mind options to let you further alter the parameters of a match. In Soul Calibur 2 I had straightforward versus, special versus where you could use the different weapons to change a fighter's stats and abilities, or tinker around with the health bars so that it either became sudden death matches or you could only win by ring out. And then the stages. The ice stage. There is nothing else to match you or your friend dodging a really powerful attack and laugh as they slip and slide right out of the ring. Don't argue with me on this. It is truth. Other than that, I would like to see some more of Shenmue 3 and the Resident Evil 2 remake. News of a sequel to Dragon's Dogma would be welcome. I will also be interested to hear more about Fallout 76 and Bayonetta 3, while Fable FE, if it's good enough, could tempt me to get Microsoft's ridiculously named little box. Oh, and of course Power Stone 3 and Rival Schools 3. That would be just aces, Capcom. TADMR, I'm most excited to hear what the next game from Rocksteady will be, but it could also prove to be my biggest disappointment. Rocksteady are one of my favorite developers and so I'm eager to see what they do next, but I'm concerned as to what franchise they will take on. The rumors from the past have been Superman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Justice League. From a purely selfish point of view, I have literally no interest in Superman, who is my least favorite superhero, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so even if they were excellent games I don't think I could muster up the enthusiasm to play them. I'm not that into Justice League either, but I probably would buy it if it was a great game. My ultimate dream would be that they made a James Bond game or made a new IP. I liked to see them do a Batman game again, but not yet. I'd like to see them try something new first. Rest assured though that if it is Superman or TMNT, I'll be pleased for fans of those franchises. I'll just be disappointed as they're not my cup of tea. Kurt Twitter, GC, James Bond does seem a good fit, but it seems impossible given Rocksteady are owned by Warner Brothers, a rival film company. Catch up on every previous game's inbox here. Not sure if Sony has confirmed no new hardware, but I'll be hoping to see PlayStation VR 2 or some wireless VR upgrade to show continuing support for the peripheral. I'd also love to hear some information on the Sony Portable that was hinted at not too long ago. No idea what they're thinking after the Vita fiasco, but I hope they end up supporting whatever it is better than they supported the Vita, and no proprietary memory cards. On the PlayStation 4 software side, I'd be happy with just more info on Death Stranding. Apparently the PlayStation 4 is heading into the end of its life cycle, so I'm not expecting any big reveals. For Nintendo, I expect Smash Bros., for which I have zero confidence their online infrastructure will work any better for the paid online Switch version than it did for the Wii U version, i.e. Lagfest. Prove me wrong, Nintendo. Game-wise, I think a proper Animal Crossing would be a perfectly reasonable surprise. Really not sure what to expect from a rumored Star Fox racer. Hoping for more than an updated Diddy Kong Racing. Maybe work in some dogfights through a more interactive course. Something along the lines of Split Second would be cool. For Xbox, the bar is set pretty low. I expect them to phone it in and just play host to some third parties, and of course an announcement that Xbox One X will now be backwards compatible with Windows Phone games. Just for kicks, how about HoloLens on Xbox One X? When's the last time that was mentioned in the news? Seriously though, let's at least see a schedule of updates for Sea of Thieves. Expectation setting equals low. Nintendo for the win, cause apparently Fortnite is a thing. Renrock, email your comments to GameCentral@metro.co.uk. The small print new inbox updates appear twice daily, every weekday morning and afternoon. Letters are used on merit and may be edited for length. You can also submit your own 500 to 600 word 4-player viewer features at any time, which if used will be shown in the next available weekend slot. If you need quick access to the Game Central channel page, please use www.metro.co.uk/games, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter.